Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to getting smart on the stuff that matters.
That's right. You've given us your audio, Cheng Fo Meng Sui, and we're here to, well, pull out the truly insightful bits for you.
No need for endless searching.
Exactly. For you, the listener who wants to quickly and thoroughly understand complex ideas, we're diving into the story of a man named Wang Shanren.
Okay.
And our mission today is really to go beyond just, the plot. We want to understand what his journey tells us about maybe pursuing something bigger than ourselves.
Right. And the audio paints this picture of Wang Shanren as a genuinely good person.
Yeah, known for kindness, deep devotion.
And he's on this quest, right, for enlightenment.
Yeah.
Which in this story seems to be about reaching this profound state of spiritual understanding, fulfillment maybe.
Exactly. And his journey kind of kicks off with a visit to a temple. He's looking for guidance.
On when he might reach enlightenment.
Pretty much. And he gets this rather unusual instruction from a monk. He needs to accumulate a specific amount of incense ash, 3/6 dew, it says.
3/6 dew.
Yeah, before he can travel west to seek the Buddha.
Okay, so this 3/6 dew of ash, that sounds like a lot. It suggests, what, years of practice?
Oh, absolutely. Dedication. And Wang, well, he takes this to heart. He diligently burns incense day after day until he finally hits that goal.
Wow.
And the audio then describes him, he's elated. He immediately gets a donkey, loads it up with all that ash.
The whole 3/6 dew.
Well, he loads the donkey and also carries a portion himself. He's ready. He sets off west.
So picture Wang, this really well-meaning guy, starting in what he thinks is his ultimate mission.
A divinely ordained one in his mind. He travels all day, and as night starts coming on, he's, understandably exhausted.
Right. And just as he's thinking about finding somewhere to rest.
Damn. He runs into an old man standing right there, middle of the road, blocking his path.
Okay, this first meeting, this is where things start to get really interesting, isn't it?
Definitely. The old man starts with the basics, what's your name, where are you from, where are you headed, the usual stuff.
And Wang, being good person Wang, he answers politely, everything.
Right. Then the old man hears Wang's going west to find the Buddha, and he gets all enthusiastic, claims they're headed the same way.
Ah, a fellow traveler.
Yeah.
Or so it seems.
Exactly. And immediately after this sort of connection, he asks Wang for a pretty big favor.
Which is?
Don't tell me.
A ride on the donkey.
Called it.
Yeah. The old man says he's just completely worn out from walking all day, can't take another step.
Okay, now put yourself in Wang's shoes here. He's tired too.
Totally.
His journey's just started, really. Sharing his donkey. That's going to slow him right down. It's a real test, isn't it? His priorities.
It absolutely is. He's torn. His personal goal versus helping someone right there in front of him.
And his commitment to being a good person wins out initially.
It does. He agrees to share. He even divides up his precious incense ash, takes half the burden himself while the old man rides. Wow. But what's fascinating, you said, is the change in the old man once he's actually on the donkey.
Oh, yeah. Instantaneous. All that fatigue, gone. Poof. He becomes quite lively, actually.
Yeah.
But then he starts asking Wang repeatedly about his destination. Where in the West are you going? Why are you going west? That kind of thing.
Wait, even though Wang just told him.
Yep. He
Weird.
explains it away, saying he's old, his memory isn't good.
Okay.
This isn't just once or twice. The audio really emphasizes it happens again and again.
Oh, man.
Wang patiently explains each time, I'm going west to see the living Buddha attain enlightenment. The old man nods, seems to get it.
And then asks again 5 minutes later.
Pretty much. You can almost feel Wang's initial kindness just starting to fray around the edges with every repetition.
Yeah, I can imagine. It really shows how even the best intentions can get worn down by just persistent inconvenience.
Right. He's physically tired. His big important journey is being delayed.
And this seemingly forgetful old guy is adding this mental weight too.
Exactly. So by the time they stop for the night, Wang is clearly, at his wit's end.
He's had enough.
Totally. He decides, okay, tomorrow morning, I'm out of here before the sun even thinks about rising. Gotta ditch this obstacle.
Right. Operation Early Departure.
So next morning, Wang puts his plan into action, wakes up in the pitch dark, quietly loads his donkey, heads west, thinks he's finally free.
I have a feeling it's not that simple.
Not even close. Just as he thinks he's made his clean getaway, guess who he finds waiting for him by the side of the road?
Oh no, the old man again.
The very same. And the old man isn't angry, not really accusatory. His tone is more disappointment.
Oh,
Yeah, like he gently points out that Wang, good person Wang, knows they're fellow travelers, and yet he just left without a word.
ouch. That's got to sting a bit.
There's almost this sad quality to his words. He even mentions he got up early himself, kind of implying he expected Wang to continue their journey together.
Man. Okay, so Wang must feel a bit guilty now, seeing it from that perspective.
You'd think so, maybe realizing how it looks. So, reluctantly, he agrees. Okay, fine, you can ride again.
Does he take more ash this time, too?
He does. He further lightens the old man's load, taking even more of the incense ash onto himself. Trying to do the right thing, maybe overcompensating a bit.
Okay. But
You-
then, does this cycle just repeat?
Bingo! As soon as the old man is back on that donkey, whoosh, energy returns. And so do the questions.
The same question.
The same relentless questions about Wang's destination, his purpose. You can really sense Wang's patience just evaporating.
The audio emphasizes his internal conflict again, right? Like, he wants to be respectful to an elder.
Exactly. But his irritation is just bubbling under the surface. It's that classic tightrope walk, isn't it? Between our ideals and our, well, very human reactions.
Yeah. Wanting enlightenment, but struggling with basic kindness in a really annoying situation.
It's a perfect example. He's striving for this noble goal, but the messy reality of dealing with this guy is really testing him.
And just like the night before.
He resolves to leave again, only this time, even earlier, convinced it's the only way he can get back on track with his mission.
Okay, so now we're at the third time, the third encounter. This has got to be it, right?
This is the climax. Wang is absolutely determined this time, wakes up even before dawn, like middle of the night early, sets off.
Please tell me he gets away this time.
Nope. To his utter astonishment, probably despair,
No.
the old man is there, again, waiting, same spot.
Are you kidding me? How deflating must that have felt?
Totally. And at this point, the old man's whole demeanor, it shifts dramatically.
How so?
He confronts Wang directly, no more gentle disappointment. He questions how someone called good person Wang can keep acting with such a, well, lack of compassion.
He calls him out on it.
Big time. Reminds Wang they're both travelers, and Wang keeps trying to abandon this old, seemingly helpless man on the road.
Oof. The accusation becomes sharper now, doesn't it?
Much sharper. He basically accuses Wang of prioritizing his own selfish ambition, getting to the Buddha over basic human decency, helping someone in need.
Wow. That cuts right to the core of Wang's whole identity, his whole reason for the journey.
It totally undermines the foundation of why he's even out there.
And that's got to be the breaking point for Wang.
That is absolutely the breaking point. All the pent-up frustration, the exhaustion, the repeated annoyances, the perceived injustice, it just boils over.
He finally snaps.
He unleashes this tirade.
Ugh.
Angry words pour out, complaining about his own suffering, how he's walking, carrying the heavy ash while the old man gets to ride.
And the questions.
Oh, yeah, those incessant, seemingly idiotic questions. And then he goes too far. He resorts to this really deeply insulting remark.
What does he say?
He asks if the old man's heart has been eaten by a dog.
Wow. That's harsh.
Extremely harsh. And that outburst, that's the catalyst.
For what?
The old man's reaction, it's immediate, it's transformative. The audio describes this sudden change in his presence. Sternness replaces that earlier forgetful act.
Okay.
He declares that Wang's long, arduous journey to seek the Buddha in the West, it's now all been in vain.
In vain. Because of this.
Because of his failure in this test. And then, in this truly miraculous, completely unexpected moment,
What happens?
the old man leaps into the air, just ascends into the western sky, disappears from sight.
Oh.
And in that instant, the shocking truth is revealed. The old man, he was the living Buddha, the whole time, testing Wang.
Oh my God. The realization must have hit Wang like a ton of bricks.
Full force. He instantly gets it. The whole thing, the annoying questions, the slowing him down, it was all a test.
A test of his compassion, his patience.
His adherence to the very virtues he thought he embodied. And he failed. Catastrophically.
So he's just overwhelmed with regret, despair.
Immediate, profound despair, recognizing how badly he messed up.
And the audio finishes with that really stark line.
Becoming Buddha, a lifelong pursuit, all became empty.
Wow. All those years collecting ash, the journey. Meaningless because he couldn't handle the real test when it showed up disguised as an annoying old man.
Brutal, isn't it?
So for you listening, what's the real takeaway here? This story of Wang Chanren. It feels like a powerful reminder.
Definitely. That the path to any big goal, spiritual enlightenment, sure, but maybe anything significant, It's rarely just smooth sailing.
Yeah, it's often filled with these unexpected bumps, these challenges.
And crucially, these challenges, they frequently test our character, our commitment to our actual values, not just the idea of them.
The irony here is just so sharp, bro.
Painfully sharp. Wang was so laser-focused on the end point, this grand vision of reaching the Buddha way out west.
That he completely missed the chance to be Buddha-like in his everyday interactions right there on the road.
Exactly. He failed to see the sacred in the annoying, the divine in the disruptive old guy.
It really makes you reflect, doesn't it? How often maybe we get so fixated on some future outcome that we just lose sight of the present moment. And the people we meet, are we so busy striving for that distant reward that we neglect the chances for kindness, for growth that are like right in front of our noses?
This deep dive into Wang's story, I think it offers a really valuable perspective on what maybe true spiritual pursuit is about.
Hmm.
Wang thought it was about ritual, pilgrimage, collecting the ash, the prescribed actions.
Right, picking the boxes.
But the story seems to suggest that genuine progress is deeply tied to just consistent ethical behavior, extending patience, compassion, even when it's really inconvenient or frustrating.
So the journey itself,
Yeah.
how we handle the interactions during the journey, that might be way more important than just getting to the finish line.
It seems so. Wang's downfall wasn't a lack of desire for enlightenment. It was a failure to actually live the qualities associated with it consistently,
Especially when tested.
especially then. So as you go about your day, maybe consider Wang's experience. Think about your own goals, the challenges you face.
Yeah.
Maybe those seemingly small moments, those little tests of patience, your willingness to help someone even when it throws off your schedule. Maybe they're far more significant than they appear.
What if the real path to whatever we're seeking isn't just the big leaps, but how we treat the old men who unexpectedly block our way?
It's definitely something to think about, a powerful thought to carry with you.